Most people overpay for reliability. They chase Camrys, Civics, and Corollas while 5 other used cars quietly rack up 200,000 miles for thousands less. Today we're looking at the overlooked bargains almost nobody talks about, cars that fly under the radar because of a dead brand name, a boring reputation, or a badge that scares buyers off for absolutely no mechanical reason. Every car on this list carries the data to prove it, from RepairPal scores to iSeeCars longevity studies to real owner repair costs. No fluff, no filler, just 5 machines that flat out refuse to quit, sitting on used lots right now for a fraction of what they're actually worth. Number 5, Ford Crown Victoria and Mercury Grand Marquis, 2003 through 2011. The most controversial pick on this list comes first, and that's intentional because this car has a split personality in the data that tells 2 very different stories. KBB owners rate the Crown Victoria 4.9 out of 5 for reliability, and 95% of Grand Marquis owners say they'd recommend the car to someone else. But RepairPal flips the script entirely, rating it just 3.0 out of 5 with ownership costs it calls poor. The truth sits somewhere in between. That RepairPal figure gets dragged up by fleet vehicles, taxis, and police cruisers that were beaten senseless and then scrapped early. iSeeCars data shows the Crown Vic's average lifespan at just 123,554 miles, the lowest of any car on this list by a wide margin. But what that number measures is how these cars were used, not what they're capable of surviving. This platform carried law enforcement agencies across North America as the most used police vehicle in the country from 1997 all the way to 2013. Many of those units blew past 300,000 miles, and some crossed the 500,000-mile mark. New York City's yellow cab fleet ran these for over a decade straight, and the reason every single time was the same: they could take a beating and keep showing up for work. The engineering underneath is about as simple as a modern car gets. Body-on-frame construction, rear-wheel drive, a 4.6-liter modular V8 that runs a chain instead of a belt, and a 4-speed automatic that typically survives 150,000 to 200,000 miles before needing a rebuild. Damaged body panels unbolt and swap in an afternoon, which is exactly why fleets ran them into the ground. If I were inspecting one in my own shop, the very first thing I'd look at is the intake manifold. The all-plastic manifold on 1996 through 2001 engines has a coolant crossover passage that cracks over time, and I've seen them dump coolant without any warning. Make sure it's already been swapped for the updated aluminum crossover design before you buy. A shudder around 45 miles per hour usually points to the torque converter, and a Mercury V fluid flush sorts that out in most cases. Model year selection matters here more than any other car on this list. Skip anything before 2003 and only look at newer examples, when Ford switched to a fully boxed hydroformed frame that delivered 24% more torsional stiffness and 20% more resistance to vertical bending, along with rack and pinion steering and 4-wheel disc brakes. Running examples start around $3,000, and the average used Grand Marquis sits between $6,700 and $8,900 depending on the source. The last Panther platform car rolled off the line in St. Thomas, Ontario on September 15, 2011. Budget about $1,000 a year for upkeep, lean on cheap and plentiful parts, and this platform will haul you around for a very long time. Number 4, Acura TSX, 2009 through 2014. The Acura TSX is, mechanically, a Honda Accord. Not kind of like a Honda Accord, but literally the European and Japanese market Accords sold here under the Acura name. Honda packed it with some of their best engineering of the era, and then the market collectively shrugged and moved on. What makes that forgettable reputation so ridiculous is how little this car actually costs to keep running. RepairPal ranks the TSX among the top 2 most reliable luxury midsize cars you can buy, and owners spend hundreds less on repairs each year than the average luxury car, with major failures being surprisingly rare at just 6% compared to 12% for the segment. The heart of this car is Honda's K24, a 2.4-liter inline-4 built around a forged steel crankshaft and driven by a chain that practically outlives the car. No turbo waiting to become tomorrow's repair bill, just a naturally aspirated, conservatively tuned engine widely recognized as capable of 200,000 to 300,000 miles with regular maintenance. Backing it up is a conventional automatic with a torque converter, no fragile CVT and no jerky dual clutch, paired with double wishbone front suspension and multi-link rear that gives it a driver's feel most luxury sedans in this price range can't touch. One owner reported on Cars.com putting 170,000 miles of hard driving over 20 years into their TSX with no major repairs before finally trading it in. On a test drive, roll the windows down for the cold start and listen. A brief rattle that fades after a few seconds comes from the VTC actuator, the variable timing control unit, and it shows up more often on cars where the previous owners stretched their oil changes. That sound tells you about the car's history as much as its health. Buy one with a clean, documented oil change record and you sidestep the issue entirely. Also keep an eye on premature rear brake pad wear, a known quirk of the model, and verify the Takata airbag recall has been completed before signing anything. Clean 2009 through 2012 examples typically run between $8,000 and $13,000, roughly 66% below the average used car price on CarGurus. That kind of value for this level of engineering borders on absurd. If you're finding this useful, hit that subscribe button. Most of my viewers aren't subscribed yet, and these videos take serious research to put together. One click helps the channel more than you'd think. This next car is the reason badges don't always matter. Number 3. Pontiac Vibe, 2009 and 2010. Here's the story. General Motors and Toyota ran a joint venture called NUMMI in Fremont, California, and on that factory floor, two cars rolled off the same assembly line built by the same workers, the Toyota Matrix and the Pontiac Vibe. Same Corolla platform, same engines, same parts bins. The 2009 and 2010 models run either the 1.8-liter 2ZR-FE or the 2.4-liter 2AZ-FE, the same powertrain sitting in the Camry and RAV4, both running chains and featuring aluminum blocks with cast iron liners. Pontiac died in 2010, and that dead badge knocked thousands off the used value compared to its identical twin. iSeeCars shows a used 2010 Vibe ranging from $2,620 to $9,995, while the mechanically identical 2010 Matrix runs $4,896 to $12,390. Same car, same factory, same workers, thousands less because of 4 letters on the grille. The kind of ownership costs you'd expect from a Corolla sit right around $391 a year according to RepairPal, and iSeeCars gives the platform a 15.3% chance of crossing 200,000 miles. If I had one of these up on my lift, the first place I'd look is underneath. Underbody rust on the brake and fuel lines deserves a careful inspection, because once those lines corrode through, you've got a safety problem that costs more to fix than the car is worth. All-wheel drive models also need the rear drive shaft center bearing checked, a rare item that gets overlooked during most used car inspections. First-generation Vibes from 2003 through 2008 used the 1ZZ-FE engine, which carried a piston ring oil consumption flaw that Toyota didn't fully address until around 2006, so any pre-2006 example needs close monitoring of oil levels. An ECM recall also covers 2005 through 2008 models, where cracked circuitry in the engine control module can trigger stalling and harsh shifting. The 2009 and 2010 second-generation models share Toyota's unintended acceleration floor mat recall and the Takata airbag recall. Once it passes a pre-purchase inspection, you've just bought a Toyota for Pontiac money, and that might be the smartest dollar-for-dollar move on this entire list. Number 2 might be the biggest bargain in the luxury market right now. The Lexus ES 350, 2013 through 2018. Lexus has ranked number 1 in J.D. Power's Vehicle Dependability Study for 4 consecutive years, from 2023 through 2026, scoring 140 problems per 100 vehicles against an industry average of 202. No other brand has matched that streak. Consumer Reports gave the 2019 ES 350 a perfect reliability score. And the ES 350 itself lands among the top 4 most reliable luxury midsize cars on RepairPal, with only a 6% chance of a major failure, half the segment average. The kind of repair bill you're looking at barely ruins your weekend, hundreds of dollars a year below what owners of competing luxury sedans pay, and hundreds below the industry average for all cars regardless of class. Under the hood sits the same 3.5-liter 2GR FE V6 and Aisin automatic found in the Toyota Avalon. Dual variable valve timing, aluminum construction, and a chain-driven valve train designed to go the distance without the $1,000 belt replacement that German luxury cars demand every 60,000 miles. iSeeCars gives the ES 350 a 20.1% chance of reaching 200,000 miles, ranking it 3rd out of 20 most reliable luxury midsize cars. If I were looking at one for a customer, I'd steer them straight to the 2013 through 2018 6th generation with a fully modern chassis. Models from 2010 through 2012 also hold up well mechanically, but the 2007 and 2008 carry the most owner complaints, mostly dashboard degradation and interior quality issues, and they share a VVTi oil line service campaign that affected several Toyota and Lexus models from that era. Depreciation turned this car into a genuine bargain. A 2017 ES 350 that stickered around $40,000 new now sells for under $20,000, and clean 2013 through 2015 examples typically land between $13,000 and $16,000. People overlook this car because they call it boring, and they're right about the personality. But 200,000 trouble-free miles with luxury appointments and repair costs that embarrass economy cars, that's the kind of boring that puts money back in your pocket. And the number one pick is a car you've probably driven past 100 times without a second glance. The Toyota Avalon, 2013 through 2018. Nearly 1 in 3 Avalons crosses 200,000 miles. That 31.4% figure from iSeeCars tops every other car on this list by a wide margin, with an average lifespan of 168,327 miles, and the Avalon has appeared as the lone passenger sedan on iSeeCars' annual longest-lasting vehicle lists for multiple years running. J.D. Power went even further, naming the Avalon the most dependable model overall, not just in its segment but across every vehicle category, in the 2025 Vehicle Dependability Study based on over 34,000 surveyed owners. Ownership costs land under $500 a year according to RepairPal, with just 0.4 shop visits annually, the kind of car you almost forget you own because it never asks you for anything. Under the hood sits the same proven 3.5-liter V6 found in the ES 350, with a forged steel crankshaft, forged connecting rods, oil jet piston cooling, and a 6-speed automatic. That chain-driven valve train was engineered to outlast the car itself. If a shop ever quotes you for a belt replacement on an Avalon, walk out and find a different shop immediately, because this engine doesn't use one, and anyone who tells you otherwise doesn't know what they're looking at under the hood. Model year selection carries real weight here. 4th-generation Avalons from 2013 and newer use the updated all-metal VVTi oil supply line from the factory, which is exactly what you want. Earlier models from 2007 through 2009 used a rubber oil hose that can degrade and rupture over time, and when it goes, you lose oil pressure in seconds. Toyota issued a limited service campaign covering roughly 128,800 Avalons for that fix, and if you're looking at anything 2009 or older, confirm the all-metal line has been installed before you hand over a single dollar. That's the kind of 5-minute check that saves you an engine. Pricing makes the value impossible to ignore. Edmunds shows 2013 Avalons ranging from roughly $3,900 to $10,100, with 2015 models running $5,700 to $11,800. Clean, low-mileage examples cluster around $10,000 to $14,000. For a car carrying Lexus-grade engineering, 200,000-mile longevity data, and yearly upkeep that costs less than a decent set of tires, that's one of the best values sitting in the used car market today. Nobody talks about it because it's a grandpa car with no turbo, no sport mode that matters, and cloth seats paired with a smooth ride. But it starts every single morning without complaint, and 10 years from now, when the flashy crossover down the street is sitting at a junkyard, the Avalon will still be running. Every car on this list sells cheap for the same reason: perception. A dead brand, a boring image, an association with fleet service or retirement communities. None of that tells you a single thing about what's happening mechanically. One thing deserves total honesty. All the longevity data in the world assumes someone maintained the car. Missing oil change records, active leaks, a transmission that shudders on a test drive, any of those signs mean you walk away no matter what platform sits underneath. Get a pre-purchase inspection on anything you're serious about. Verify open recalls, especially Takata airbags, through a NHTSA VIN lookup. And remember this one thing above everything else. If you want more picks like these, cars where the data tells a completely different story than the reputation, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. More lists like this one are coming, and the next one goes even deeper. See you in the next one.